Now, welcome to my man cave. I'm at home over the weekend and I was making up some cyst hooks for use for some deep water jigging, which I hopefully will be doing here pretty shortly. And figured, you know what, maybe it's not a bad opportunity to make a video on the use of hollow braid, or solid. Maybe I'll get around to doing that too, to make up cyst hooks. Frankly, you can go out and buy cyst hooks. Oftentimes the hooks are secondary quality. There are some that are better quality than others. You get a couple of them for $5 or $6 or whatever the heck it is. And if you do the math to it on how much a pack of hooks cost, and a good pack of hooks, your owners, your Yamakatsus, even the Mustads, some of the better quality things, you can make these doggone things up yourself and make up a nicer rig, quite frankly, and do it in just a few minutes. So, I'll encourage you to take on another hobby when you have downtime at home, like I do this weekend, in my official man cave, which is well rigged, I might add. Most of my fishing junk is back in here and my tools and stuff. I've got my microscope in the background that's interfaced with the computer, so I can go ahead and look at the line and do some other stuff that that I like to try and do. But that's not about this stuff. Right now we're just going to make up some assist hooks. So bear with me. Let's see if we can make this thing work. Okay, there's not a whole heck of a lot of stuff required for this. I'll start off with some 130-pound braid. I'll clip off, maybe a couple of feet or so of the line. First thing I want to do is to make up a loop. And that's how I'll terminate on this jig. The jig already has a welded ring. That's going to be the attachment point for the assist hook, as well as for my main line. On some other jigs, maybe you don't have that benefit of the ring already being there, at which point you might want to go ahead and attach. But in this case, I won't. I just want to have a loop. So I'll start in. I'm going to use a reverse latch needle, which is what this little guy is. I'm not sure if we can bring that in with enough lighting to show, but it is a reverse latch needle. I'm going to go in, maybe leaving myself a foot or 18 inches or so. Not critical. I'll be doing some trimming after that. The use of a 16 strand, not to beat a dead horse, but the 16 strand is doggone easy to work with. So here I go. Boy, this is difficult stuff to work with. I probably should have tried using the 12 strand, just for the fun of doing something different and having a color, but no big deal on that. There's my latch. I'll make a loop. Size isn't critical here, but that's what I will wind up doing. Make sure I've closed my latch. Appears to be so. Good. The only part that can be a little bit, it's not difficult, but just to get her started, to bring that line back over, the other 3 sections of line. There she goes. Well, that wasn't too terribly difficult, now was it? And then I'll go ahead and bring my needle on out before I reach the end here, as I have. Oh my gosh, there's my loop. Congratulations, Mark. You've reached the end of your loop. Stretch her on out. I can take my loop off at this point. Off a needle. Set the needle on back. I may have made that a little bit bigger than I needed it, but that's okay. And do I want that size? Maybe I want to go ahead and take her up just a little bit here. That's good. Okay, and now we'll keep on bringing that line back over, folding on top of itself. And sure enough, here we are, we have our loop. And she ain't going anywhere as long as she's taut, And even if not, she really isn't going anywhere. Got my 2 tag lines here. I will go ahead and trim this down as I need to. The main thing for me was having the loop made. And now I've got my loop. Everything is secure. The loop is the size I want it to be. I am good to go. All right. Nice job, Mark. Okay, next I want to tie on a hook. So I'll clip this guy back. And I think for this one, I don't need this anymore. For this one, yeah, maybe I'll go ahead and go with the fly liners. I've got some gorillas here to play with. Fly liners are a little less expensive. In this case, I'm using the 4/0 size. I could go certainly up or back, whichever. And I'll go ahead and take my line inside through the barb side of the hook. Bring her up approximately to where I want her to sit. In this case, with this particular jig, I'm going to want her to be, oh, let's see here, maybe another inch or so back from that point. I'll run my line down the shank of the hook, make a loop, pinch that point off, and I'll give her several wraps around both the line and the hook. Looks vaguely reminiscent to doing a uni, I guess, doesn't it? You can do as many as you like. I'll probably do 5. And I'll go ahead and tighten this down a little bit as we go. I don't want my loop to be too big, frankly, so I'll tighten from this end. If I needed to get more length, I'd be tightening from this end. But that's where I'm going to want her to go. And I can bring that whole monstrosity back up here, tighten her down. Actually, I probably should have sized it to make sure where I was at, but it looked good to me. That's about where I'm going to want her to go on my jig. So I'm good. Be good to tighten this little puppy. I'll do that on my handy dandy workbench. Maybe. Nah, no, what the heck, I'll use my other tool here. Just cinch down. Okay. Boom. Looking pretty doggone good, if I don't say so myself. Snip off my tag here. Give it a little bit of adhesive. Just because. And easy as that, I've got my assist hook made up. Now, boy, that was difficult. Now, is this worth $3 or $4 or whatever the heck it is? I've got a better hook. I've got better line. I mean, we're happy at Sharkbait or wherever your tackle dealer of your choice is to sell you the product. But this isn't hard to make up. It certainly helps having this stuff. It certainly helps having a couple of needles around. But my God, you'll find all sorts of uses for these things if you go ahead and invest in them and spend a couple of minutes learning how to use them. And in this case, I think I'm going to want to dress this up a little bit, just because. So I've got some little small P-line hoochies. Nice little things. These are glow. Actually, all the ones that I grabbed today are glow. And let's see here. I want to snip my nose. I'll use my other cutters for that, because I don't want to waste my braid cutters on something that is far from essential. Okay, cool. And there's another trick to doing this if you ever get around to it. I think it's not hard, but you can always put a piece of braid through here, a piece of line, line up my eyes correctly, because I want this to be just delicious to look at for a fish. And son of a gun, I've got a dressed assist hook. And it's well dressed, I might add. It's luminescent. I could turn the lights off and show you and impress you, but I shan't do that. I've got my jig. I can go ahead and rig this guy up. Easy enough to do. got my loop. I'll bring this guy through the other end to it, and sure enough, I'll have my assist hook all rigged up and ready to go. All I need to do is go fishing, and voila, you know, not a bad deal, not a bad deal. Guaranteed to catch me a few fish when others will fail. So that's rigging up an assist hook using 16 strand hollow core spliceable braid. Used one needle and one skirt and some owner fly liners, and I'm good to go. So this is probably one thing I forgot to mention in my haste to finish up this video and get back inside and watch a ball game was the use of a little shrink tubing. If we want to be a little more anal in our presentation, I don't know if it necessarily provides any measure of security, but perhaps on a toothy critter it just might. One can always stick some shrink tubing on, and provided I have the right size, and I guess it looks like this part's pretty good, I can in fact do. So what the heck, why not stick on some shrink tubing too? If we're going to do these, let's upgrade the quality versus most of what we're going to buy. The shrink tubing shrinks to oh geez, half its original width. Probably provides a little measure of security additionally to it. I have my wife's industrial strength hair dryer. I didn't say that. And it will get warm, and it will shrink this thing down at some point. Now you can use a match and a lighter, but I just happened to go to Harbor Freight and Tools, and I bought this wonderful gizmo for $5 to $6. It works great for taking off guides and reseating if need be. And it does get hot. Okay, that's one. I'll stick my delightful little pea-line skirt back on here. And I have myself a very, very well-dressed assist hook. Now, if that's not professionally done, I don't know what is. My gosh. First, I'm just going to try and help spread the fibers. Feed in the braid. Let's see if we can go a little wider here. Yeah.
Czary twoje Наше майбутнє, наше